All right, today we're going to dive into just one sentence. But what a sentence. It sounds so simple, but trust me, it's a key that unlocks this massive journey. We're talking about a journey that stretches from eternity itself right into our created world and gets to the very heart of God's authority. Here it is. I came from the Father, and now I am going to the Father. You hear that, and you think, okay, simple enough. A round trip, right? But no, not even close. This single verse is actually like a cosmic roadmap, laying out a mission that has huge, huge implications for everything. So simple, right? Or is it? See, this statement is just packed with ideas that kind of mess with our normal understanding of, well, everything. Space, time, even what we think of as heaven. This isn't just a story about someone going from point A to point B. It's about fundamentally changing reality. So yeah, let's really dive in. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we're going to break it down. We'll start by talking about what heaven even means here, because it's not what you think. Then we'll get into the power behind the Father's name. From there, we'll look at the mission itself, why it happened, what it means for us, for believers, and then we'll zoom all the way out to see the ultimate cosmic purpose of the whole thing. All right, first things first. If we're going to understand this journey, we have to get a handle on the starting line and the finish line. And that means we've got to kind of reset our whole idea of heaven. Because, the source material we're looking at here makes it clear it's not just one place. Okay, and this is where it gets super interesting. The source basically splits heaven into two different ideas. You've got the space-time heaven. That's kind of what we picture, right? The sky, the angelic world, a physical location that's inside our created universe. But then there's this other thing, the heaven of the spirit. And this is a whole different ballgame. It's a realm that's not spatial at all. It exists completely outside of our time and space.
And that non-spatial place, the source calls it eternity or infinity, 영원 무한. This is the timeless, spaceless reality of God that, let's be honest, our created minds just can't fully wrap around. But here's the kicker. This is the Son's real starting point. So when Jesus says he came from the Father, he's not talking about coming from a place up in the sky. He's talking about coming from this eternal, uncreated state.
Okay, let's keep building on that. So if he came from that eternal state, you'd think going to the Father just means going back there, right? No, it's not a simple return trip. He's actually going to a very specific place of authority. And that authority is all wrapped up in this idea of a name, which is way, way more than just a label. So here's how the source lays it out. Inside our universe, God's authority is represented by his name. It's like, think of it as a physical embassy for an infinite kingdom. It's this symbolic throne, this central point of power in the space-time heaven. And it's the place where created beings can actually engage with God's power. And you see this idea pop up right here in Philippians. It says that God bestowed on him the name that is above every name. That's it right there. So going to the Father wasn't just a trip home. It was about inheriting the supreme name. It was about receiving the ultimate authority over all of creation, specifically because of what he accomplished on his mission. So let's take stock. We've got two different concepts of heaven, and we've got this idea of the Father's name representing his authority in creation. With those pieces on the board, now we can really see the full picture of the Son's mission. And it becomes clear, this was no simple visit. This was a journey with an absolutely profound purpose. Yeah, check this out. It breaks down into 4 key steps. First, he empties himself. I mean, can you imagine? He leaves that eternal realm to become a created being like us. Second, he obeys to death, seeing the mission through all the way to the cross. Third, and this is so important, he's resurrected and ascends. But where does he go? Not back to eternity, not yet. He goes to that physical throne in the angelic space-time heaven. And finally, that's where he inherits the name, confirming his authority over everything, but now as a created being who has perfectly finished the job. And let's be absolutely clear, the cross is the whole linchpin. It's everything. Just like Colossians says, he made peace by the blood of his cross to reconcile all things. That single event was the key that unlocked the whole thing. The inheritance, the reconciliation of the entire cosmos, it all hinges on that moment. So what were the results? I mean, they were literally universe-altering. Through this journey and the cross, he secured the legal right to judge evil. Check. He redeemed humanity. Check. He reconciled all of creation, confirmed that he is the rightful owner of all space-time, and get this, he actually completed the work of creation, bringing it to its ultimate goal. Okay, but this isn't just some big, abstract, cosmic story. This has real, down-to-earth consequences for you and me, for believers. The Son's return to that throne in heaven matters in a big way. So let's talk about why him leaving was actually a good thing. In fact, it was absolutely essential. I mean, Jesus says it himself right here. It is to your advantage that I go away. How wild is that? It sounds completely backwards. But his ascension wasn't him leaving them behind. It was him pulling the trigger on the next, absolutely vital part of the plan for everyone who follows him. And here's how it works. It's a chain of events. He ascends to the throne. He inherits the Father's name, that is his authority. And because he has that authority, he can then send the Holy Spirit in that same name. You see? His finished work unlocked the door for the next stage. And the result? Wow. It's really breathtaking. It's all about unity, about becoming one. Through the Holy Spirit, all believers become the temple of God, this one single body. The Father and the Son actually come to live with them through the Spirit. So this massive cosmic journey has this deeply personal, incredibly intimate payoff.
So where is this all headed? What's the end game? Let's zoom out just one more time and look at the grand finale that this whole incredible journey has been setting up. And it's all about one thing: God becoming all in all.
This kind of lays out the final act in 3 phases. Right now, in the present, the Son is on that throne interceding for us, which helps sanctify believers. Next up is the judgment, when all of creation finally gets purified. And then, in the end, the Son hands all that authority he earned back to the Father, so that God himself can become all in all. I mean, the absolute center, the very substance of a perfectly remade creation. So, when you put all those pieces together, the picture becomes crystal clear. The Son's journey, from eternity into our world and back to a throne in creation, it wasn't just a trip. It was a strategic mission to plant the flag of God's perfect, undeniable authority right in the middle of space and time. And that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on, doesn't it? If this whole incredible cosmic mission was to establish God's absolute authority inside of our reality, what does that mean for our place within it? What does that say about our purpose and our hope right here and now?